Hi, Brian.
Hello.
How have you been?
I'm all right.
Are you ready for some questions?
Sure.
Um, when did you become a Christian, or how old were you?
I was about 13. I grew up in a very strong Christian home. Both of my parents have wonderful relationships with God, and but I remember specifically right around 12 or 13 giving my life to Christ, and making the prayer with my older sister and my younger brother, and being baptized shortly after.
And how old were you?
About 12 to 13. I already told
Oh, I'm sorry.
you.
I really do listen to my guests' answers.
Yeah, right.
Uh, what were you like before you became a Christian, or how are you different today?
I was a child. I don't remember actually. I mean, I had typical child issues, but I don't remember being necessarily different.
So you've told me before that you've auditioned for Dancing with the Stars
Hmm.
and American Idol.
Hmm.
What was it like auditioning for American Idol?
Long, 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 long day. It was about a 15-hour day. I guess that wasn't so bad. We woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning. By the time we got, this is in Memphis, Tennessee. I went with two friends that I worked with, two females, and one of the females' dad actually drove us from here from Atlanta.
It's a
And
long drive.
wasn't that drive was great. It was getting up early. We got there like around 5 o'clock, and the line was already really long.
Yeah.
And then we had to wait for like 12 hours before we sang. And it's in a big. It's usually done in a really big convention center or dome, football dome, and you're given numbers and you're called down, and then you stand in line again, and then four people stand in a row in front of a table full of two producers
Mm-hmm.
and sing just 15 seconds, and then they either dismiss you or bring you along. And they take some people that are bad and some people that are good. Dancing with the Stars was
Yeah.
early on. I think it was the second season for them, and it was a lot more organized. We waited maybe just 3 or 4 hours before we were seen. It was in Chicago. I went with a mutual friend, Rebecca, who I just met. She was 19, just out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
My friend Josh, who was a aerobics instructor, introduced us, and we were all dancers. And we went to Chicago. We flew up there, practiced the night before, and then woke up early and went. And they took 8 people into a small space that had a dance floor, and had each one of us freestyle to, I think it was Madonna's Hung Up. I think that was the
Oh
song.
yeah.
And then they said they took four people out of the 8. 2 were good and 2 were bad.
Um. So you was this at the Boston Conservatory of Music that you went to school with Constantine Maroulis and Catherine McPhee?
Hmm.
What were
I didn't
they?
go to school with Catherine McPhee. She came a year after I left,
So you don't
for
know
about
whether.
6 months.
Okay, so you don't know whether Catherine McPhee was a good student.
I'm sure she was amazing.
Um,
Her freshman year is it's mainly basic, not necessarily in your acting class, but as far as the musical theater part. And your sophomore year is really when you get to start doing the solo stuff.
mhm.
Fran Charnas was the professor there for all three of us, I believe, and that's when you learn styles. You learn how to sing in a 20s dialect and 40s
Wow.
dialect. And I'm sure Fran loved her, but I know from an interview or from research that she left. She was there for a year and a half, and she left and moved to LA.
So
But I
Const-
do not know her personally.
Constantine Maroulis,
Hmm.
as I like to think of him, the poor man's Daughtry.
Hmm.
Uh, was Constantine a good student?
Hmm. I
Um,
think so.
so and Catherine McPhee came into the Boston Conservatory of Music um, after you were a student there, and she has gone on to be one of the stars on the TV show Smash and has been nominated for a Golden Globe.
Hmm.
You know, I was recently watching. I don't watch American Idol anymore. I watch The Voice, but I saw some commercials for American Idol, and they still show people who don't get through to Hollywood
Yes.
crying.
Yes.
And I think to myself, Well, they've seen all these seasons of American Idol,
Hmm.
and they know that people cry. But if they don't make it through to Hollywood, there's The Voice, there's X Factor. What do you think about that?
I don't like reality TV shows. I mean, I enjoy watching some of them. Most of the ones that I watch are probably more scripted than I'm aware of. Most of the reality, I enjoy. Uh, I watch Project Runway, and I'm a little guilty or ashamed to admit that I watch Dance Moms. And the only reason why I feel guilty about that is because I hate. There's a huge aspect of the show is the drama or the arguments between the moms and the
Yeah.
dance teacher, and it's so lame. And I want to like contact the producers and tell them to cut it out and just focus on the girls dancing because they're all really talented and seem to be really wonderful young women.
For me, it's like that makes me think of Glee. I love the singing; it's amazing, but there's a lot of drama. But it's a show about high school students.
Mhm.
I've auditioned. I've sent in an audition video for Survivor. I remember when I met you, all the kids in all the grades in Upstreet, all the kindergartners through fifth graders were in the Kids Stuff Theater last summer, and you were great, by the way. I remember one day you closed the large group gathering by saying, "Why are we going to have a good week?" And one kid yelled out, "Because we love God."
Hmm.
I love those moments.
Yes, me too.
Um, when I met you last summer, um, before one Sunday, before the large group gathering had started, I think I remember you sharing some of your political views.
Okay.
What are some of them?
I don't really have any political views. I just believe my views of God and the relationship that I have with them and outweighs anything political. I believe I believe that our country is founded the morals and the laws that were established are pretty strong, and I just believe. I mean, most of my views come from the Bible, as far as how we should treat each other, and I don't know what exactly they would be, but
Um,
I'm pretty conservative, I guess.
but didn't you say? Correct me if I'm wrong. But didn't you say that day?
No, I didn't.
So you did not say. That's like when when someone asks me, "Have you heard of?" and I say yes. Have you heard of? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I have.
Absolutely.
But so you didn't say we should give President Obama a chance? There's no chance
Well,
that you had said that?
the point I think I was probably trying to make then was because people rag on him so much.
Yeah.
But I feel like that job is a lot harder than we'll ever know.
Yeah.
And that he came into it with a lot to fix, and apparently the American public and thought he was, some people say it's lesser two evils, but there's something that he could do to still improve.
Well, those are all the questions I have for you, Brian. Pretty painless, right?
Yes, thank you.
Is there anything that you'd like to say to our viewers, or do you have any questions for me?
I don't. We're good.
Okay, and the last thing is, would you like to do some impressions?
Nope. I don't do impressions, you know that.
You told me in the pre-interview that you like doing impressions.
I never said I like doing impressions.
And just for our viewers, I want to say
You need to do your research, buddy.
I do. I need to hire a team of fact checkers. So where do we go from here, Brian?
For my life?
With the interview, or where are you? What's next for you?
In life?
Yes.
Well, I'm a student at KSU, so finishing that and hopefully marriage, and I hope to be a father one day and to quietly change the world.
That's awesome. What are you looking for in a woman?
Oh Lord, I thought this was over. Someone who loves God with pure and beautiful innocence, and just loves life, has just a beautiful, joyful presence.
Well, what about your friend who's currently in Italy?
And that's it. See y'all later.
So where do we go from here with the interview, Brian?
We say goodbye.
Okay, that's it.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching.